All right, last team, last sleeper. Kind of a weird sleeper because we've been talking about them for a while to be NBA championship contenders. It's the Milwaukee Bucks. They acquire Miles Turner, Cole Anthony, and Gary Harris. Brooke Lopez leaves. Damian Lillard's gone. Pat Connaughton's gone. So it's kind of the same team. Miles
Very
Turner is
true.
a better version of Brooke Lopez at this point. So you replaced Brooke Lopez with someone who's almost the same exact player. I think Miles is more versatile than Brooke right now. Dame's gone, so that era is dead. Gary Harris and is someone who can shoot the three, who can defend, and Cole Anthony's somebody you can bring off the bench and he can kind of light up the scoreboard. So you have someone you can give the ball to, or who can kind of cook if you need him every once in a while. I like what they did here. The Bucks, to me, were a team that just could not be healthy the past 2 years and could never really get it together. And we talk about this a lot, but health matters a lot. And again, this is going to be a constant theme that we talk about with the Eastern Conference. It's a very thin conference. There's two teams at the top right now who people don't even believe in, the
Yeah.
Knicks and the Cavs. There's, right now that's the consensus two best teams in the league. And if you ask really any Eastern Conference fan, like if you're a fan of the Bucks, if you're a fan of whatever, you're not scared of either one of those teams. So I do think an Eastern Conference team has a bigger chance of being a sleeper. And then when you have Giannis Antetokounmpo, of course, like you have a chance in every game and you have a chance in every series. To me, it's going to be interesting to see how Miles Turner pans out here. Like I said, I think he's a better extension of Brooke Lopez. Pick and pop, can hit the three. I think he can put the ball on the floor better. I don't know if he's going to protect the rim better than Brooke. Outside of that, though, I do like what they've done here. I think getting Cole Anthony to come off the bench is going to help their offense out a lot. I think they're going to need to find ways to help Giannis create on the offensive end. But again, he's the best player in the East. If you have the best player in the East, you have a chance. And I think people are kind of forgetting how good and how well the Bucks played when they actually got healthy last year.
Yeah. Again, health matters.
Yeah.
With after they made a Dame trade, it felt like they could never get healthy.
Yeah.
If it wasn't Dame, it was Chris Middleton, and then it was Giannis in some stretches. So they never got any form of continuity, which hurt them. But it they're they're an interesting team because at the end of the day they still have Giannis. So like if you have Giannis, it's like one of those. There's specific players in this league. If they're on your team, you're gonna have a chance.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And Giannis is one of those players. Like you said, they did a good job bringing in Miles Turner, and then re-signing Bobby Portis,
Kevin Porter.
getting Cole Anthony. Uh, was it Kevin Porter Jr. Yeah, signing him too. So I mean, they have an interesting team. It's like, but again, to your point, it's like, do they have enough to help out Giannis? You know what you're gonna get out of Giannis.
Yeah.
Like he's close to a triple double, but an aggressive downhill scorer. He's been improving every year. Like his mid range shooting this year was incredible, like just incredible. But have they done enough to surround him with more shooters to like space it out for him to go to work? Have they done enough
Yeah.
to replace like some of the, I guess, auxiliary scoring around him? Like, is there another player? Do they have another player who they can just throw the ball to when Giannis is resting, that can just go get him like 15, 20 points just off the rip? And that's gonna factor into it. Have they resigned Thanasis? Like, these are the questions I need answered. Like, did they need to bring back Thanasis?
That's the real question. The vibe's got to be right, baby.
The vibe's got to be right. What does this look like? What does this look like with another year under Doc Rivers? Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of questions. But again, they're in the East, and like you said, the East feels very, very not scary this year. Like the West looks scary in comparison.
Yeah.
The East this year is like, okay, we're gonna see. Like that's what it just feels like. It's like we're going to see, and there's gonna be teams that nobody's talking about that might come out the East. Like it's a strong possibility. And if you have Giannis, you have a chance.
Yeah, and I also think the Bucks are interesting because you have a few players who are coming into their own right now. Like Kevin Porter Jr. is finally going to get an opportunity to start. It looks like this year,
Yeah.
he's someone who can get buckets really quick if you need him to. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see if he can be consistent in that role. If he can kind of play sidekick to Giannis every once in a while. He's somebody who has bounced around a little bit, who hasn't really gotten an opportunity, I think, for the most part, but is somebody who definitely obviously has a talent to score and score very quickly in bunches. AJ Green's another player who I love. He can shoot the three, shoot his ass off, and he's a good defender too. So basically, what you got in Pat Connaughton during your championship run, you have in AJ Green. So it's there. Like the formula is there. You don't have your Chris Middleton type, but you do have help there. I think Giannis has more help than people realize. Miles Turner again is somebody who, if involved in the offense, can put up buckets. Bobby Portis is very comfortable in Milwaukee. I do think there's a formula here for the Bucks if they can just kind of get it right and if they can be healthy. Doc Rivers.
Yes, that's what it's going to be like. Does Doc Rivers have the formula to get him?
Yeah, it's really going to come down to that. I think the two most important things is that, and that to me, outside of Giannis, I think Kevin Porter Jr. is probably the most important player.
Wait, hold on. We've talked about the Bucks for how long, and we've not mentioned Kyle Kuzma.
That's a sad.
That it just hit me just now.
He disappeared from our minds like he disappeared in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, it just hit me just now.
He was supposed to be at number 3 last year. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
we're talking about who can help Giannis, and we're like, and just him like, yo, we haven't mentioned Kyle Kuzma. Oh my goodness.
I don't know if the jury's still out on Kyle Kuzma. I think we've pretty much know who he is at this point. I think he's somebody who can score the basketball at times. I think he's wildly inconsistent. Him disappearing the way he did last year was just brutal.
Yes.
Not what you traded for. To me, I don't count him as a reliable go cook. Give the ball to him and go cook. I would rather give the ball to Kevin Porter Jr. if I'm being honest with you at this point.
Okay.
I mean, you saw what Kevin did last year when he got the opportunity in the playoffs. He balled out, and I think this is his year to show what he can do. So.
Yeah. I just had a moment while you were talking because when you were like Kevin Porter Jr., I'm like, there's somebody else, and I'm like, oh snap, Kuzma.
Yeah.
They're gonna need something from Kuzma. That's what they're gonna need.
Oh my God, 1,000%.
They're gonna need him to step up, especially like this year, because it's clear, like you said, if they're going to be dependent on somebody like Porter, they're going to need to depend on somebody like Kuzma because he's going to be in the starting lineup. You're going to need him to be more efficient and more consistent and not disappear. We all, like you said, the jury, like we know what Kuzma is at this point in time. It's kind of crazy. There was a point in time people were debating if Kuzma was a better choice than Jason Tatum. I remember that was real. That's happened.
That's a freaking wild discussion.
And that, when you think about it now, it's kind of crazy. But regardless of anything, Kuzma is an NBA champion.
Yeah,
and he has experience playing with all-star players. He has experience kind of fitting in a role and trying to find his way. He needs to be more aggressive and be able to step up, especially on this team, in order for them to have a chance in the East.